Her clothes were soaked with sweat, but her eyes remained resolute. Has the water in the sandpit at the back of the village completely dried up, sir? A villager asked, seeing a middle-aged man walking dejectedly towards her. It's completely dry. We've dug until our shovels are worn out, but we can't find any moisture. Now, the only water left is in the wealthy man's well, but who dares to ask? He hoards it to sell for 100 baht a bucket. How can poor people like us afford that? Quote. Hearing this conversation, she clenched her fists in anger at the wealthy man. Once the wealthiest and most ruthless merchant in the village, he was now more heartless than the earth itself. He took advantage of the crisis to coldly exploit the villagers. But she didn't have time to sit and curse her fate. Her grandmother, bedridden at home, was waiting for food and water from her. I must go deeper into the forest, Ji soon murmured to herself. She made a decision, turned around, and headed towards the dense jungle deep at the foot of the mountain. Even though she knew how dangerous it was, from wild animals to the ghosts the villagers spoke of. But her filial piety to her grandmother made the fear in her heart vanish. Her rough, bare feet crunched on the dry leaves, making a crackling sound. The deeper she went into the forest, the denser the trees became, and the scorching sunlight lessened. The stifling heat only intensified. Yisu wiped the sweat from her eyes, her gaze sweeping across the rocks searching for a water source, hoping to find a water bottle for her grandmother to drink. Suddenly, her eyes fell upon a figure curled up under a tree by the roadside. The figure looked filthy, covered in old rags, with disheveled white hair covering her face. Yisu hesitated for a moment before deciding to approach. She found it was a strange old woman, emaciated to the point of skin and bones, covered in scrapes and insect bites. Her breath was faint, like a dying candle. Grandma, Grandma, can you hear me? Yisu called softly, shaking the old woman. The woman opened her eyes, revealing a cloudy yet mysterious gaze. She tried to speak, but no sound came out. Only a muffled murmur in her throat indicated she was mute. The old woman looked at Yi Xuan and, with trembling hands, pointed to the bamboo water container at her waist. Her eyes pleaded for her life. Yi Xuan gripped the container tightly, a fierce conflict raging in her heart. This water was the last drop she had painstakingly collected from the blades of grass that morning, intending to save it for her grandmother back home. If she gave it to this old woman, her grandmother would be without water for another day. This water I saved for my grandmother, Yi Xuan said in a trembling voice. But when she saw the helpless, lifeless old woman before her, her gentle heart couldn't bear to watch. But dear, she said, the life before me is more important. My grandmother can endure a little longer. Quote. She decided to open the bamboo stopper and gently lifted the old woman's head to drink. Drink, dear, she said. Drink slowly, dear, no need to rush. The refreshing nectar flowed down the old woman's parched throat. She drank it all in one gulp, and her strength began to return. Yi Sun not only shared her kindness, but she also unwrapped the banana leaf, took out a small piece of boiled sweet potato she had prepared, and fed it to Grandma. Eat a little, dear, so you'll have strength again. Yi Sun smiled, even though her own stomach was rumbling with hunger. The old woman chewed the sweet potato slowly, her eyes fixed on Yi Sun's face, scrutinizing her as if scrutinizing her soul. When she finished eating, she slowly pushed herself up to a sitting position and reached into the old bag beside her. Yi Sun watched with curiosity. The old woman pulled something out. It was a jet-black branch, about a cubit long, rough and dry, like a piece of firewood found everywhere. Walking along the forest floor, the mute woman extended a branch to Yi Xuan. Yi Xuan took it, bewildered. Is this for me, Grandma? What is it? Are you going to use it for firewood? Quote. The old woman shook her head, pointing to the branch and then back to the towering mountaintop in the distance. The mountaintop was perpetually shrouded in mist and clouds. The villagers called it Mount Mist, a forbidden area believed to be the dwelling place of gods. She gestured, drawing a circle in the air like the sun, then planted the branch, and then raised her hand and gestured downwards as if rain were falling. Yi Xuan frowned, trying to understand. Are you telling me to plant this branch on the mountain and it will rain? The old woman nodded rapidly, her face serious and stern, her eyes sparkling. She gripped Yi Xuan's hand tightly, squeezing it firmly. Before entrusting her last hope to Yi Sun, she gently pushed her away, urging her to hurry. She pointed. I'll try. I'll take you to the edge of the forest first. It's very dangerous here.